one of the most damaging and yet the least visible causes of hunger is now thought to be the complex working of financial markets in rich countries, thousands of miles from the people who are suffering from malnutrition. With the international property market slide and many stock market listed companies in the doldrums, large institutional investors like pension funds have been searching for a safe place to store their money. They don't need to make a quick buck, but they need a safe bet that their investment will keep making a return. With this in mind, investment bankers came up with the idea of making bets on the future price of a spread of commodities. Deregulation enabled a wide range of investments on anything from coal to gold, but also foodstuffs like wheat and rice. The trouble is, while this organized betting on commodities helps to ensure a return for pension funds, the very success of these investment vehicles is thought to drive up the price of commodities, including food, as more investors pile in, at least while markets are rising. The day laborer in Guatemala, or in Afghanistan, or Ghana, who is barely able to earn enough to feed himself and cover the basic necessities before, is now finding it even harder as the price in the markets is rising. It's crucial that in the future, policymakers investigate the human impact of the investment policies which are liable to put food prices beyond the pockets of millions of people. Otherwise, hunger will just keep getting worse.
So Sam, from that video, it seems that investment bankers speculating on food as a commodity is causing a real problem. How do you respond to that?
Well, the video is entirely factually inaccurate, and I really wonder if the person who made it knows what a futures contract is. I circulated this around and asked a lot of economist friends of mine, do they know what it is? Do they think the maker does? And I don't think they do. I'll just quote Paul Krugman, the left-wing economist, won a Nobel Prize, was recently in the UK. A futures contract is a bet about a future price. It has zero, nada direct effect on the physical price. A futures contract is a hedge. It's saying to a farmer, I think the price of food is going to be £10 next year. The farmer doesn't want to take that risk. Maybe it'll be £12, maybe it'll be £8. He sells the futures contract. In other words, he sells the future price to that futures trader. The idea that futures trading has any impact on the direct effect is completely bogus. The only way it would have a direct effect at all is if there was physical hoarding, and we just have to look at the data to see that there has been no physical hoarding. It's a completely factually and economically illiterate video.
Let me stop you there, because
there's not that much you can say when you present about that.
Let me introduce you.
It's completely wrong in every way.
Right. Let me introduce you to the economist who actually was involved in producing it. I think. Will you welcome Alex Cobham? Come and sit down. Come and sit down. Alex is an economist who was with Christian Aid. He's now with Save the Children. Would you like to respond?
Well, I'd love Sam to be right. But unfortunately, Sam's wrong. What you've got now is a broad consensus. The World Bank, the IMF, the UN, particularly the Special Rapporteur on the Rights of Food, who leads the research in this area, all saying that what's happened in commodity markets has had a powerful impact on the price of food. And that's why, for the first time in a generation, the number of people on this planet who systematically do not have enough food to live on has begun to rise after falling for 30 years. You know, this is not random, it's not unsupported. I think Sam was a little bit naughty in the quote he gave you from Paul Krugman. Krugman does say there is no direct effect. He goes on to explore the indirect effect. Now what happens is when a large amount of money is bet on the price of, let's say, wheat in a few months' time, people who have wheat to sell today, they look at what the price is going to be in a few months' time. So when that's driven up by an investment bank taking that kind of bet, it drives up the price that somebody will sell the same food for today because they know they can store that wheat for 3 months. This doesn't require people to hoard. What it requires is people to have their eyes open and look at what's happening in the futures market as well as the spot market. And we know this is why commodity markets exist. That's what farmers do. So what you get is an indirect but very powerful process. If you read the Christian Aid report, Sam, you'll see the detail of this. There's a correlation of something in the region of 80–90% between the commodity bets that are made today on prices 3 months hence and the prices of food that people in poverty pay today. That is why this matters.